The Nigerian army has been on a media drive and campaign, basically, going across southeastern states to encourage people and youths to join the Nigerian army. Let's take a look at this clip and see one of the campaigns that was done in Enugu State recently.
Headquarters have begun a sensitization of mass enrollment of Igbo youths into the Nigerian army to fill up the drop-in quota of the Southeast Zone. Today in Enugu, army delegates are interfacing with local government chairmen, traditional rulers, a town union president, and leadership of the student union, echoing the importance and motivating Igbo youths to join the Nigerian army, noting that withdrawal of Igbo youth from joining the army en masse could affect the collective interest of the zone.
Last quarter of last year.
So, just from listening to that, we can surmise that there is an attempt to improve the recruitment from the southeast. I think for me, I am an Igbo man. I think that is important to paraphrase so that anything I say isn't taken out of context, but rather my unique situation as an Igbo man also will give a level of context to why a lot of Igbos shun the military. And I will give you possible solutions that the Nigerian army can employ to yield reasonable results in the nearest future. But underpinning all this is one major issue. Trust. The foundation of every issue I am going to list, everything I'm going to outline, is trust. And I will tell you why that is so and how it can be remedied. Stay with me. The number one is very obvious, the Nigerian Civil War. The Nigerian Civil War of 1967 to 1970 has left a very bitter taste in the mouth of many Igbos and those of the southeastern states. It has been a source of pain for many people of that generation who invariably are now fathers and mothers currently of people who should be recruited into the Nigerian army. Because obviously everyone who is seeking recruitment into the Nigerian army wasn't born during the Nigerian Civil War. It is rather our parents and the parents of those who are being recruited that survived the Nigerian Civil War. And unfortunately, a lot of incidents and issues that stems from that civil war and the inability of the Nigerian collective to address many of these pending issues has left a bitter taste in the mouth of many families. And they have been very adamant that nobody in their family will be part of the Nigerian military. This is a statement of fact. I'm not making a supposition or an extrapolation. It's a statement of fact. Many families will never join the Nigerian military because the events of the Nigerian Civil War has left a very bitter taste in their mouth, especially some of the incidents that happened in Asaba and Amekeiten. Those who are curious can as well make a little research on that, and it's very clear. The events of the Nigerian Civil War is the reason number one, and every other thing stems from the Nigerian Civil War. It is the foundation of the problem. It's the foundation of the problem. That is it. And it is also linked to IPOB, Operation Python Dance. Events of the Operation Python Dance. Imagine imagine this. You are sleeping one day. You wake up in a place. Suddenly you hear this deafening sound. Okay, let me tell you my personal experience. I was in the East on that day. I was sleeping. And I heard this sound that I've never heard in my life. I ran out. Apparently it was a jet. Honestly, I did not believe that something could make that kind of noise. I don't know if that was the natural sound of the jet or if they were actually producing that sound. It was frightening. It was frightening. So imagine you wake up in a place that you think is relatively peaceful and suddenly you hear this kind of thing. And other incidents and events that happened around that and the attempted capture of Nnamdi Kanu. I don't think he was captured on that day, even though he was subsequently captured. So events surrounding Operation Python Dance is also one of the problems and some of the things that people have felt a lot of resentments. Unfortunately, right now in Nigeria, the biggest threat, or one of the biggest threats to the armed forces and Nigeria's stability and security, is the Boko Haram insurgents in some parts of northern Nigeria. As selfish as this will sound, a lot of people do not feel that the events happening there are directly affecting them. And they feel like if they join the army, they will be put into the front line to fight people and events and situations that they have no business fighting. It sounds selfish. Yes, I agree. I am not saying this is my belief. I'm telling you from my own observation, from speaking with people over the years, from understanding the pulse of the situation, from having conversations with people for my entire lifetime, over 3 decades. These are some of the things I have gleaned out to say this is why a lot of Igbos refuse to join the Nigerian military. They believe they will be put in front lines to fight people who they do not necessarily want to fight because they have no business there. It doesn't affect them directly. The most Igbo families prioritize education and trade as possible career paths. Others are not a consideration. I will repeat it. Most Igbo families prioritize education and trade. The military is not a career path that they consider. Maybe as a result of the other points I mentioned, or just because they do not believe it is a viable option. Education and trade, full stop. That is how many families see it. Anything other than that is a waste of time. This is not me telling you. I am telling you, this is not my opinion. This is from years of listening to these conversations from your uncle, brother, friend, newspaper stand, groups, cultural village. This is some of the ideas around it. They are more interested in, are you in business? Are you in school? Have you graduated? Nobody is not. The army is not a primary or one of the major considerations for people of that ethnicity. Some of the ways I think this can be improved is very simple. There should be a bit, there should be more efforts to, especially, and I think this is one of the major ones, to refute the notion that Igbos who are recruited into the army are sent to the front lines immediately to fight Boko Haram disproportionately. If you join the army, definitely you are sent to fight, but it should not be disproportionate. Meaning, you should not go to the front line and you look to your left, to your right, you feel like everybody you are seeing is your brother. Everybody you see is from southern Nigeria, and others are not sent here to fight, as if your life is a pincushion. I think the army should do more to break that stereotype, that narrative among the Igbos. And I know this sentiment is not just particular to the Igbos, but I'm speaking for this particular situation of the Igbos. It is to do more. More has to be done to break that narrative, to dispel that narrative that the Igbo life in the front lines is not valuable, it's not important. Once that is done, recruitment will jump up. Everybody knows that the army you're not going there for a treat, you're not going there for a vacation, but you want to feel like you are treated fairly. So once the narrative that you are not treated fairly is dispelled, is refuted, people will naturally be more inclined to join the military. And that can be done by through PR, media campaigns, and also liaising with local stakeholders, AZs, Igbo traditional councils, Ohanes and Igbo. A lot of those organizations is very, very important. You have to do more in that sense to make people know that these things, if not true, are not true. Another thing that can be done, in my opinion, is recruitment awareness. And this is something like places like the American military prioritize. college campuses. Some of these place, I don't know. I don't think I've ever gone anywhere. Like you be on the road and you will see or even see adverts, PR campaigns for the Nigerian military. Why don't we do that in Nigeria? Why can't there be ads, campaigns, media campaigns? Bring that money, do serious marketing campaigns. No nation can survive without its military. And Nigeria is too big not to have a robust military. So PR campaigns, marketing campaigns should be done. Radio jingles, adverts, all those kind of things. I don't know. Even going into the universities to meet students, send recruiters. Yes. I don't see a problem with it. I think those are possible ideas to boost recruitment, even outside even Igbos generally. Well, I did this video to highlight some of these things, and I hope you've gained and learned a few things. If you have a different opinion and there are some things I did not cover, please let me know in the comment section. Share this video, like and subscribe, and I'll be very grateful. Thank you and have a nice day.